So e-governance, I'll give you a few examples, and the most recent one that I see is also about filing your income tax returns. Various initiatives that are happening on the e-governance front, which are very promising, especially the UID project, that will take us a long way and will make some big strides in terms of the leverage we can have in terms of providing services to people in villages, etc., based on their IDs. The authentication of those IDs will enable this country to be able to achieve a lot further in e-governance versus where we are today. At the backbone of e-governance, a lot of services that you provide with e-governance, the backbone lies the data center. And the more we focus on the data center, the quicker we will be able to achieve our services catered towards e-governance. If you look at, I was in a presentation talking on data center challenges. There was Neeta Shah, who's kind of head the entire Gujarat, spearheaded the Gujarat angle on the data center she set up, and automating various applications and services within the government departments. The key angle that is most important that came out loud and clear during those discussions was being able to manage your data center with the amount of pressure that's coming in terms of delivering services quickly within the same cost, being able to cater to challenges related to data center capacity, virtualizing your data center, being able to manage and set up a cloud as well. So there were some good discussions around that. So I do feel we will go a long way as a country with the e-governance initiatives, and there is tremendous focus on building a strong backbone with the data center.
Yeah, great. What are the initiatives of BMC software in data centers?
So BMC Software is an enterprise system management company. We basically provide management software that enables the data center to provide services to applications. We have product lines catered towards cloud management. Typically, customers feel that if they simply virtualize their servers, they're all set. They will get the gains of elasticity, they'll get the gains of capacity management. However, the most important part to realize value from a virtualized environment, which you would call cloud, is to have the right management software, cloud management software, to provide just-in-time services, to provision your systems, and be able to utilize the capacity within the systems very efficiently, and be able to charge back to your customers based on utilization.
What are the key challenges in implementing data centers?
In enterprise data centers, the key challenges that typically the most mature data centers face is the fact that they need to prove business value today. In the past, data centers could get enormous amount of funding. They would be able to set up services very quickly, and they were not asked too many questions in terms of the value that the business users get. Today, they need to provide a lot more business value with the same amount of funding and budgets that they have. The data centers have become fairly complex because of the interdependencies and connectivity across systems. They need to make sure that data centers are available and the services are up and running. At the same time, they need to demonstrate a lot of transparency to their business users. Transparency to the level that they can align and show the investment, the value that they're getting out of the investment. And these are some of the critical challenges that are coming out today in data centers.
Dhiren, what are the areas where data centers can play a role in enhancing development? In India, like nation, where we have 1.2 billion population and 65% Indian population in rural areas, 14% is below poverty line. So how do you see the role of these centers in development?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about education itself. Education is one area where if you go down into the rural areas, even 50 kilometers, 70 kilometers from the city center, which is, let's say, in Delhi, you will see that the education systems start dropping. You can basically host large data centers that have learning opportunities, that provide various connectivity options across these rural areas, so that you can deliver education better to some of some of the rural population. I mean, I'll come back to the other one, which I thought will not happen soon, but it happened pretty quickly, was the filing of income tax returns, and various initiatives on those fronts, I think will go a long way.
There are some security concerns related to virtualization technology. Are you agree with it, and to what extent? What is the solution?
Definitely there are security concerns because, again, there is a mindset shift that is needed. Typically, many business users are accustomed to having their data center right there close to them and having their machines right there close to them. In today's time, you can remotely manage your data centers. You can provide an entire application stack hosted remotely and virtualized, and the consumer will not even know that it is virtualized. If you put the right level of network security in place, you put the right level of regulatory compliance related governance around it, I think the security concerns will be much lesser.
Yeah. Dhiren, according to you, what is the ideal roadmap or vision for the effective e-governance in India?
The ideal e-governance vision I see is, I'll put it this way, the key hindrance I see in e-governance getting very quick traction and us being able to make very high progress is to some level the interdepartmental processes and the applications that are not being able to cater to those processes. So we'll have to go past and make some strides in terms of improvements on those processes to be able to essentially electronize all of the things that we are trying to do.
Here in the recent years, the government of India has started so many programs on financial inclusion and UID. So according to you, to what extent these programs are able to achieve the goals of inclusive growth in India? Because now the government is talking too much about the inclusive growth.
Yeah. So can you come again, about your question? What you're implying there?
How the financial inclusion programs and UID is able to achieve the goals of inclusive growth in India?
Yeah. So with inclusive growth, essentially you mean economic gains, or do you mean a proliferation of electronic, communication across? Yeah. So economic gains. I mean, if you just look at the information technology outsourcing that has happened out of India, it's of the order of 47 billion, as far as it was last year. The exports of software has automatically created an ecosystem of various other markets developing. It has boosted the economy on various other adjacent industries. With e-governance come in play on various fronts, I would think that there would be adjacent spaces where you'll see an economic uplift on various fronts. On the proliferation side, I think the reach will be far, far higher, and the communication, the interaction and the globalization angle will also take off much quicker.
What are your future plans?
So future plans as far as BMC is concerned, BMC software is a leader in cloud management software, and our strategy is very aligned to move towards the application management space. We already provide application management software, but if you look at cloud is essentially being built to get your applications up and running very quickly and sooner. And our focus is soon going to shift towards enabling delivery of applications even sooner over the cloud and application management, whether it is essentially your middleware stack or your database management pieces.
Thank you, Dhiren. Thank you so much for joining with us.